SwayamPrabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Okay. The next interesting topic in CNC topic is going to be on CNC machines. A typical horizontal machining center with an automatic pallet changer. What is pallet? This is a pallet. Pallet is nothing but a workpiece holding device. You put your big component, it is getting rested here. So, now you see here, this is a CNC machine, this is horizontal type. There are 3 pallets, 1, 2 and 3, okay, or I would say 3 stations A, B and C, 3 stations are there. There are 2 pallets, So, one pallet where the machining goes on. This is a part where the machining is going to go on. When the machining is happening, you will have another pallet which is free. So, now what we will do is, when the machining is on, the next pallet we will place the new part which is to be machined here properly. Once the machining is over, this pallet sweeps out to the position B and C, whatever was there, pallet gets into the machining zone. So, what is the advantage? The advantage is you are trying to increase the productivity of the machine. So, here during the machining time, and generally the horizontal machining centers, when one job is loaded, typically runs for 30 minutes to even 2 hours. 30 minutes to 2 hours it runs. So, by then this will be there, and here the changing will happen automatically. Once the machining is over, the door will open, it will come out, this will come in and the next machine starts. So, this is only to improve the productivity of a CNC machine. This is the use of a automatic pallet changer. So, this is how a pallet looks like. In a pallet you can have pallet with holes, you can have pallet with T slots, these are all T slots. So, when we have these holes, through these holes you can push in a dowel pin and you can put a part and you can locate a part on it. So, this is basically helping you to locate a part on a pallet and you know the locations of all the points here. So, correspondingly when you write a CNC program, you know the x and y z coordinates of the workpieces very quickly. So, you can see here the diagonal distance is 628, the length is 500, between pin to pin it is 100. So, it is like a matrix, several dots equidistanced. Okay. So, then you see that. So, this is predominantly used for locating some complex jobs, and here these points are discrete. If you want to have infinite points, then we go for a pallet with a T slot, put the stopper here and locate the component wherever you want and then start machining. So, this is also of the same dimension 500, the diagonal is 826, the distance between the pitch between the 2 slots is 100 millimeter. So, both these pallets are used depending upon the requirements. So, you will have either this or that. So, both, you will not have a machine where they have both, one which is there for pallet changing, either this you will have a automatic pallet changer or this for automatic pallet changes. The normal conventional all the milling machines will have T slot based table. So, that is what it is. So, a pallet in a HMC, a typical pallet changer, this is a typical pallet changer. So, here is a spindle. So, here there are 4 pallets which are there, each pallet you can start locating it. This pallets will be sitting on top of a disc. This disc will be rotated by a discrete mechanism, which is nothing but a Geneva mechanism is kept at the bottom. So, it indexes and it stops. So, because if you use a gear, then it will be continuously moving. So, you will have a gear at the bottom, but this gear will be discretized at 4 points. So, it indexes and stops. So, by this what will happen is you can try to increase the productivity of the machine. A typical pallet changer with a rotary style pallet changer. So, a typical pallet changer with a shuttle type pallet changer combined with 6 pallet carousel. So, when we talk about these pallets, it is not necessary 2 pallets. You can have a carousel of pallets. Carousel of pallets means you can have 6 pallets. So, if you wanted to do a mass production, very quick production and all, again you can use this. So, it is a typical pallet changer with a shuttle pallet. So, this is a shuttle pallet. So, every time it comes here, it gets indexed and this will in turn index. So, this will go up and down, but and then this will go like this. So, you will have a shuttle pallet changer which combined with 6 pallet carousel you can do. So, when we talk about the CNC turning centers, you can have turn mill centers. This is what I was trying to tell you in the beginning. Today there is a combination of milling and turning together. So, it is called as turno milling centers or turn mill centers. You can have multiple axis turning centers. So, generally we will have only 2, X and Z. Now, you can have C, you can have X, Z, C and Y. Then you will have vertical turning centers, then twin turret turning centers, multiple spindle turning centers, and you can have integrated material handling devices which are attached to the turning centers. So, this is the slant bed CNC turning center which I have already discussed. So, here you will have the spindle which rotates, and here you will have the tool which rests. So, CNC turning centers, machining for a keyway slot. So, you can keyway slot or you drill a hole away from the center of the workpiece if you want to do. Today there is a provision which it can be done. So, you can have this keyway slot machining, otherwise it is a very difficult job. If you want to do a keyway machining in a conventional machine, we turn and then we take it to a milling machine, vertical axis vertical milling machine, and then we relocate it and then get it done. And the other thing is, if you want to drill a hole also, we will take it out from a lathe machine, take it to a hole. If you want to do off of the axis if you want to do and then drill, this is possible. So, this is offset if you want to do. So, you can do and then drill holes, or we can do keyway holes. So, the drive for a tooling in a turret of a CNC turning milling center is this. So, you will have this is the turret of a turning milling center. So, where we will have tool turning with driven tools to be used in a turn mill center. So, you can have so many tools which are attached, and then this in turn will be doing a turning operation as well as a milling operations. So, this is what is a typical thing. Only C axis apart from your X and Z which is used in a lathe machine. If you have a C axis, you can offset and drill a hole, and you can stop it at regular indexed position. See, in a lathe machine, the 1 RPM keeps rotating. So, now you are discretizing 1 RPM. So, that is why you are able to drill these holes. The other thing is combining of C and X, you are able to make a triangle. C and X axis, when they are moved, you can try to get a triangle done. If you want to make a slot, wherein which through this slot there is a cam which moves up and down, then we use C and X axis motion. So, we will try to get this slot and operators. So, these are all complex jobs which are being made on a CNC machines. So, if you have a cam follower, you can this cam follower follow in this, and then you can try to get locking or unlocking of a system. So, it is very typical a job. All these jobs can be done today in a CNC turning center, provided you have a C axis which is attached to the X and Z axis. When I was talking to you about twin turrets, so this is a turning tool. So, you will have another turning tool. So, you will have X1, X2, Z1, Z2. So, you will have to plan this and write. So, you have two twin turrets are used for machining. So, this is how a twin turret looks like. So, this is one turret, two turret, and here is a lathe machine. This is a spindle wherein which you load the workpiece. So, this is how a twin spindle CNC turning center looks like. A twin spindle CNC, twin spindle, two spindles are there. You have multi spindle automats today. So, you will have 6 spindles are there. These are basically an SPM machines. You would have never even thought about 2 spindles. Look at it, 2 spindles. This is twin turret. Okay. So, this is 2 spindles. So, you can have CNC turning milling center with y axis. Y axis, why is it specified? Because in a lathe machine you will always have x and z axis only. So, if you want to do a typical job like this, a hole to be done, and then you will have a cube to be machined, and then drill, and then along inside you want to have a tab which can be done. So, all these things can be done in this turn mill center with y axis this way, and then if you want to make a groove, it can also be done. So, these are typical jobs which are done on a turning center. So, I am just bringing it to you because multi-featured cylindrical components are now the talk of the town. So, how do you make multi-feature cylindrical components to meet customer requirements? So, this is how it is. A cam will roll on it for locking and unlocking. These are all for assembly operations we do. So, when we talk about vertical machining, vertical turning centers, these are also, if you have a large die to be made, for example, a truck tire has to be processed. So, generally what they do is they make a large die, and then in that die they used to keep several sheets of rubber, and then this iron wires at regular reinforcements, and then what they do is they try to process the die, and here it is done on a CNC vertical turning center. The die is machined using a CNC vertical center. So, CNC vertical center with inverted arrangement, you can see, which is inverted arrangement. This is that you will have a inverted arrangement. So, all options of CNC machines I am talking about. Then as I told you, chip, when we try to talk about machining, so we will try to, the chips are formed. If the chips gets accumulated on the table, it is going to be difficult. You have to frequently clean the table. So, rather than that, we always use a slant bed. So, the chip falls on a conveyor. So, this conveyor can be a bucket or it can be a moving conveyor. The chips are thrown out into another conveyor. So, it is always kept clean. So, it can either be like this or it can be like this. So, this is slant, this is vertical. Okay. So, the conveyor can be moving like this, or the conveyor, there can be a drum which rotates, and this drum keeps throwing down, and then the chips can be accumulated into a bin. To summarize, in this chapter we saw what is a CNC machining center, we saw CNC turning center, then we saw CNC milling center, then various vertical machining centers we saw, 5-axis machine, various horizontal milling machines, and then we saw about various pallet changers which are used in a CNC machine to improve the productivity. Thank you.